What's the hubbub? We're going to be talking about a huge Voltron update that has some legitimate implications of the Zack Snyder effect on DCEU actors' careers, but we are starting with all the latest DCU updates and rumors in depth, from Batman and Lanterns to Supergirl, Lobo, and much more, plus reactions/rebuttals to other YouTubers, and everything related within the DCU versus DCEU fandom debate world we cover here. That's right, I'm not afraid of civil debate reactions. It's not even bad for the other side, as small channels interacting can be good for all audiences' discussion's sake. So don't cry over me clearing up the misinformation, Snyder bros. Buckle up, you're in for a ride and I ain't lying. Savvy lead in. So Voltron fans, it looks like Henry Cavill's career has been affected long-term by the Zack Snyder DCEU flopverse. It was decimated to ashes before Gunn took over to rehabilitate DC. Voltron, his new movie, takes a shockingly bad turn in an update. I'll go over the crazy wild details later in this video, so keep watching. First, let's check on the latest in James Gunn's DCU news, updates, and rumors. Let's actually begin with some Lanterns talk, because there are quite a bit of exciting updates. What I've been hearing about the Lanterns tone is if you're a fan of Reacher, which stars Alan Ritchson, the Lanterns series will have some of that vibe to it. Additionally, for series inspiration, speaking with Entertainment Weekly, Mundy explained that the creative team drew inspiration from the first season of True Detective. That influence goes beyond tone and atmosphere because the series will jump between events separated by a decade. In the 2016 timeline, Hal Jordan is investigating a shooting that he believes has extraterrestrial ties. The problem is that the local sheriff, played by Kelly MacDonald, isn't buying any of it. Around the same time, John Stewart is still a rookie Green Lantern and gets pulled into the case alongside Hal. Then the story shifts 10 years into the future, where things become much bigger and stranger. That becomes a second mystery that we know is down the road for us, Mundy hinted. So, eventually, two different mysteries get worked out over the course of the show. That structure sounds like it'll allow the series to slowly peel back layers over all 8 episodes, while also digging into the dynamic between its two leads. Mundy made it clear the focus isn't really on a standard murder mystery setup. What's interesting about this setup for Lanterns is that it sounds less like a traditional superhero show and more like a layered crime conspiracy drama in the mold of True Detective. According to Entertainment Weekly, the dual timeline structure is central to how the mystery unfolds rather than just a stylistic gimmick. The 2016 storyline gives the series a grounded investigative angle. Hal Jordan is already experienced and convinced the shooting has extraterrestrial connections. Kelly MacDonald's sheriff character acts as the skeptical counterweight. John Stewart enters as a rookie, which naturally creates a mentor-protege dynamic with Hal. Then the jump forward 10 years suggests the investigation spirals into something much larger, probably cosmic in scale, while revealing the consequences of whatever happened in the earlier timeline. That structure gives the writers room to slowly reveal information across all 8 episodes, contrast who Hal and John were versus who they become, and turn the mystery into something character-driven rather than just who committed the crime. What Mundy seems to be emphasizing is that the show isn't trying to be a procedural with Green Lantern costumes layered on top. The mystery exists mainly to explore the partnership, ideology, and evolution of Hal and John over time. That's probably the smartest direction for adapting the Green Lantern mythology into prestige TV, because the emotional dynamic becomes the anchor while the cosmic elements escalate around it. I am interested with when Clayface takes place on as well. Are we going to see the Age of Heroes build through timelines? Interesting stuff. Chris Mundy also has expanded on the criticisms from mostly anti-DCU and certainly the dramatic Snyder bros regarding the lack of green imagery in Lanterns. He stated, quote, "The aesthetic of the show, it's supposed to be very grounded and real, so we're shooting practically in places. We're not heavily green-screened. It's not like Dayglow in its presentation of anything. I think Green Lantern fans will not feel like we've somehow made a brown show of their green comic at all. It's very much, we're in the world, and then when we use the constructs, they're what people would expect them to be. Ending the quote there, let me say, I am excited for Lanterns, and in the world of fake excitement, it's a bit hilarious seeing Snyder Bros coping lately with Batman. I've got something to say about the absolute Olympic-level flip-flopping happening over Matt Reeves' Batman 2, which, by the way, was never cancelled, despite certain people on YouTube trying to sell it like it was a funeral procession for Gotham itself. It's over. Dead franchise. James Gunn destroyed it. Meanwhile, as he said, he was waiting on Matt Reeves, who was lagging a bit behind. Calm down, Commissioner Gordon. But what's really funny is watching the same crowd suddenly act excited for it now. Hold on, weren't these the people trashing Robert Pattinson from day one, calling him Twilight Batman, saying he was too skinny, too emo, too whatever? All because Ben Affleck didn't get his solo Dark Knight movie. Let's not rewrite history here. The internet receipts exist, we remember. For years it was, not my Batman. Batfleck was robbed. Reeves' Batman is too long and boring. Ironically, from the Snyder Bros, who should be used to his long-ass director cuts, they proclaimed the Batman is overrated. Where's the Snyderverse? Now all of a sudden it's, oh, actually I'm hyped for Batman Part 2. Reeves is a genius. Can't wait to see Pattinson again. Oh, now you're on board? Interesting character development. And let's be real about why the switch-up happened. Because if you openly hate both the DCU and Matt Reeves' Elseworlds universe, both still operating under James Gunn's leadership, then you basically admit what this was always about, being Snyder-only fans who want everything else to fail out of spite. That's the part some people don't want to say out loud. Look, you can love Snyder's work, nobody cares, but pretending you always supported Reeves' Batman after spending years clowning it? That's some two-face level personality disorder. Pick a lane. Anyway, enough of Gotham therapy sessions and internet amnesia. Let's get back to the updates. Supergirl and Man of Tomorrow were among the titles mentioned during the WBD Upfront sizzle, which highlighted upcoming Warner Brothers films and series. Supergirl is also pacing well for DC Studios' audience interest. There is a healthy buzz ahead of its June 26 release. It holds a solid 53% awareness and 48% interest on the quorum, putting it ahead of several major upcoming releases in early audience surveys. I am hoping it's 1, a good movie, but 2, in realistic expectations that it will exceed break-even and hit 400 million worldwide. It needs to do Thunderbolt's numbers, which is possible, as it's on a lesser production budget of likely around 90 to 100 million. Don't be shocked if the marketing budget was held lower, around 50 to 75 million either. Thunderbolts was actually over 180 million production budget and 100 million marketing. Some of the marketing tried to tongue-in-cheek sell it as a new Avengers team-up, and while a good movie in my opinion, it didn't have the A-list heroes to risk that much on costs. Supergirl was budgeted better to allow for a much lower break-even, which is the only way you can decide to make a story like this. Smart planning. I and most HubBub viewers never expected a character at her tier level to do crazy numbers. Harsh Temu Critics has embarrassed himself moving the goalpost in his cope mind to 1 billion.
Really counterproductive for David Ellison to keep James Gunn when James Gunn DCU isn't successful. Forget what the shills say. James Gunn's DCU is not successful. If it was so successful, Supergirl will hit 1 billion. And again, I know the movie's not out, but they're already projecting that it's going to flop. I mean, where's the marketing for Supergirl?
Nobody with a brain ever thought the character has had the power of Spider-Man type of box office. Delusional lunacy, and the guy doesn't even discuss if it could be good. It's never about it being good or not to grifters. They don't care about the quality. They are just there to trash it and hype up the Snyder bro base. Though it's more a YouTube subscriber ticket, because I think at this point, after hundreds of Snyder is back thumbnails, they know it's been a long time and don't believe the delusion. They are just grifting off of it. There is a great chance we get a fantastic movie in Supergirl. The ingredients are there. a talented actress in Millie Alcock, and a wonderfully accomplished director in Craig Gillespie. Speaking of Supergirl, Millie Alcock and Jason Momoa may both be in Atlanta reportedly. Could they both appear in the Man of Tomorrow movie? We'd assume he may have an appearance as Lobo in the film. Some are also speculating his visit to the city is partially to see his partner, Adria Arjona, who is part of the movie's cast as well. He is heavily rumored to be reprising his upcoming role as the anti-hero Lobo, set to officially debut in Supergirl for a semi-surprise appearance in the new Superman sequel, which is shooting in Atlanta. While it's all about Man of Tomorrow right now, there are 3 priorities that Gunn thinks are most important to fast-track into immediate projects. Let's go over those, and please take a moment to like the video and share your comments today. Number 1 is Lobo. Jason Momoa has started putting some pressure on James Gunn to fast-track a solo effort. Reportedly, he playfully told Gunn, "I didn't come on board to play Lobo for a fucking guest appearance." Number 2 is Wonder Woman. We've been seeing a couple of actresses linked to the role in Adria Arjona or Eva De Dominici. Interestingly enough, Gunn had always had Arjona in mind for the part. If it's true that Eva secured the role and Arjona is playing Maxima, the screen test had to be off the charts good for Eva to own the role, as Arjona is being seen as a top-tier talented actress after her success in the Star Wars series Andor. Number 3 is the DCU Batman movie. It's still getting fine-tuned on the script, and Gunn has been respectful of Reeves' process to get the Batman 2 going. Due to spacing that out and not to confuse and clutter the verse, Gunn pivoted to a Superman saga story without making his Batman a primary player yet. However, with Man of Tomorrow and now Batman 2 well underway in development, you can expect he's going to get movement on his own Batman story for DCU in live action. Continuing on some non-DCU news, but towards a former Superman actor of the now-dead Snyderverse DCEU, former Man of Steel and Witcher star Henry Cavill is all set to play a key role in the long-awaited live-action adaptation of the beloved 80s sci-fi action animated series Voltron. For those unfamiliar with the story, humans from Earth stumble upon an ancient power and are thrust into a war spanning across galaxies, becoming the defenders of the universe. The heroes pilot 5 distinct lions, black, red, blue, green, yellow, which only achieve their full potential by combining into the giant robot Voltron to battle Galra monster ships. It focuses on 5 lion robots and their pilots as they fight the evil forces of King Zarkon and Prince Lotor. Voltron was a massive syndicated hit and a pop culture phenomenon. By the end of 1984, it was the top-rated animated show in the United States, capturing an audience's attention with its unique combining robot premise that paved the way for later hits like the Power Rangers. Unfortunately, despite the long wait, Amazon has now offered a seriously disappointing and frankly quite shocking new update regarding the movie's release. Whoops, the Snyderverse aura didn't help Henry's Voltron get a theatrical release. Ouch. Straight to Prime Video streaming. Same budget as Supergirl 2. Key production and release details: the estimated budget, $100 million, matching Supergirl, which is getting a theatrical release in James Gunn's DCU. Honestly, if a Masters of the Universe movie can get a release and Voltron can't, that's pretty bad, especially with a good-sized budget. Ouch. I actually hope it's a decent film. What disappointing news. You know, if Supergirl, again with the same budget, went straight to streaming, the Snyder Bros would never let any DC fan hear the end of it. Straight up. So what do you guys think about all the updates going on? How about the news of Voltron losing the theatrical release? Let me know in the comments below. With that, it's today's HubBub. Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you know when my latest videos are up. As always, no Snyderverse, no problem. Wallets open.
Studio.